here. Nice. I appreciate you. Sorry. I was doing clutch stuff. Doing some cleaning up the clone clutch, and also there's this nightmare that has been sitting on the cart since I pulled it off last September, October. When did I race? When did I see it open? October. I really got to go through. So I decided that I was going to. I need points for Unlimited All Stars for the Nationals. So Blairsville, PA, is going to be my. I don't want to say next stop because I might go race Saturday depending on weather, but it looks to me like it's going to be absolutely craptastic this Saturday. The big Reaper race down in Pennsylvania has already canceled. Looks to me like everything's 60, 70% chance of rain. PA, New York, this and that. So it really depends on whether or not I want to go and try and get soaked. It is the first points race at AMS, and I am a points paying member at Allegheny Memorial Speedway as of this year. But yeah, see if you run a nice and clean, nice and clean. It's funny, the ultrasonic cleaner. I used to use ultrasonic cleaners when I was tattooing or apprenticing to tattoo, and then I never even thought of it until just recently. And I was like, why don't you get an ultrasonic cleaner? It'll really help, with like things like bell housings or bell housings. Why do I call it that? I just week to week tear them down, get them tore down to this point. I mean, you can check air gap if you want. I don't think that after years of running the open sedans, stuff like that, you really had to keep on top of the air gap on them. And I find that with a clone, and even now with the Bama, the big 4-disc and running the Viper style clutches, these style, or you can call them Gators. There's numerous names. This style of clutch, not the bully baskets will go on them, but tear them down to that point. I like to clean. I just clean this shaft off. This doesn't have a bearing. People don't like that, but this is 11 tooth. We have all these bull rings in New York, so this is 11 tooth. So this rides right on that. But I just take them off and I clean the bearings. I clean the washers. Ultrasonic cleaner works great for that. If not, if you use some, brake clean or whatever it is you want, get the crap off, and then I take and people have their opinions. I've done this for years. Just a little bit of high temp grease, not a ton, just enough to get everything lubricated. Put it back together and run it. I'm pro maintenance, but I'm not pro crazy in maintenance. So yeah, I just got my fingers just a little bit of grease on there just to fill them. Like years ago, I remember somebody told me that maybe it's Bowler said that just used like Vaseline on these because the theory was you didn't want it to, when it gets warm, it will spray out into the clutch and conceivably make your disc slip. But I've been running high temp grease for years without issue, so I just continue to do so. I'm sure there's other people who swear by other stuff, but this is just the way I've always done it. So yep, I just rub a little, put the bearing back on there. We got a little, you can see how this is kind of sticky. Just got a nice little layer on there. I'll take and I'll take the gear, just a little smudge of that, a little smudge inside there. Doesn't hurt to put some on the gear as well. And then slide it back together. Really, really quite basic. I don't do a lot. Somebody was telling me, so when I went to Weedsport, they have Slack built, or performance machining, whatever you want to call it. It's Slack. the chassis performance manufacturing that makes slack. They have their own clutch line, and I couldn't tell you what they call them, but they all they want you to do is basically bowl them out. This is the person told me that. I'll take them for the word. It's not what I prefer to do. Like I like to just double check some stuff, make sure everything's kosher. But if they trust in their stuff, if they believe that that's the best part of it. One thing I will say is, since I got these clutches from Pease at Motorworks, they got these little spiral clippies, and they are a pain in the keister. I just don't like them. I like the ones that I like the ones you use these. But I understand why they're on there. What's going on? Getting ready for a race to Concord, Georgia. Nice, very cool. Yeah, like I was saying, hopefully I'd like to go points racing. I'm not going to run 4 points. I'm entered into points down at AMS. I want another run at it. Video coming out Sunday. Pardon me. Is on Wheatsport and my experience there. If you guys saw on here, I put out the qualifying. So basically, I have that footage from the Insta 360 that's going to be there. I tried to do it vlog style. As it turns out, I just do a whole bunch of filming without talking, which isn't really vlogging. So there's something weird about, we'll take this. Whatever. Just, hey, hey guys, what's going on? It's just holding and talking, and there's people around you, and it's not that I can't do it. I did do it. I just maybe I wasn't as boisterous as I normally am. Like I'm in my barn, and I'm the only one out here, so I can talk freely. And I still have that little voice, like people are staring at you, like. But it was a really good time. It's funny because it's funny, not funny. People, oh, did you win? It's just like, no, I didn't. I went in there knowing full well what was going to happen. And that's not a defeatist mentality. It's that I've heard what that track takes in order to be successful at it. And it proved to be so. Now, I talk about in the video, again, talking about it's coming up Sunday here. I speak at the end about I increased speed every single time I got on track. So from practice to qualifying to the feature race, I got faster. Was it anywhere where I needed to be? No, I was still 4 tenths off, 6 tenths. No, wait. They ran a 10.4, and I was at 10.8. I was 4 tenths off. I was 4 tenths off in the feature, which is a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. And it's tire selection, setup. I was just kind of was going in half line like this, and knowing full well what people told me it was going to take to run well there, only having what I have, that was the whole thing. I wasn't going to rent tires. I wasn't going to. I had an opportunity at some tires that probably would have worked really well there, but I still think I needed a little more stagger. And 1 and 2 was messing with me pretty bad. But yep, going to run treads, no problem. Nice. I'm currently in a Facebook battle with somebody. Every time I post a video, they like to comment, treads and tear offs. It's way better. Here's a picture of me wheeling it. It's fun. I don't know if they think I'm upset at it or not. I'm not. I think it's funny. Like I said, I'm not anti treads. I just don't run them. North Vernon, India, 4th of July. I would absolutely love to go everywhere. I had to invite, was it Indiana? No, Illinois. Somebody, I hate to be rude. I don't want to misspeak on their name. I can't read. They're in my DMs. But hello. They offered to, pay my pit pass or whatever to come out and race. And then I kind of looked up where the track was, and it's like a 12.5-hour pull, or no, 11.5-hour pull. And I appreciate the offer. I really do. But I am about as budget as they come. Maybe I'm a little. I'm like a notch above super low budget. I have a little bit of money make do with what I'm doing here in my race program. I've said jokingly, YouTube pays, but they do not pay well. So I'm not rolling in dollars and making all this money off YouTube videos in order to race all over the country. I would absolutely love to. I would love to experience a lot of different tracks, but it's just at the moment, at my financial point in time, it is not a possibility for me to be running all over. And plus, wife and I were sitting down a little bit, and she was talking about where we were going to go RVing this year. And so now I have to balance amusement park. There's an amusement park that's like an hour from us, and she got season tickets there. I got to balance going to the family with the family that stuff. I got to balance racing, and I got to balance some weekends going RVing with the wife. And if you're from New York or up north at all, you know that we have, like a 4, 5, sometimes 6, but usually not 6-month window of getting stuff done, because the snow comes and then everything shuts down. It's crazy. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's and I do appreciate all the offers. I can assure you that uh, I do. I really do appreciate it. It's just I know I considered going to that before it got rained out, that Reaper race this weekend. And then I looked at the dollars I have in my safe for racing and then what I would have to purchase for tires. And I'm not degrading my ability as a clone racer, but that they don't offer open there. And I would have to run clone. And there are people that are going to be a step ahead of me at that track. Although the Reaper would even things out, because basically I'm assuming everybody's going to show up on pretty neutral tires. Pretty, they might be doing a little something internal, but I don't think a lot. I don't think a lot of internal prep works that great on Reapers. So everybody be showing up with freshies, and then who can build the most bite and choose the right chemical for the day, which is quite nice. Oof. The I got to get I got to prep those. I don't think the track I'm going to the 17th on the Open. It's a Burris track, Blairsville, New York, or I'm sorry, Blairsville, Pennsylvania. It's a Burris track. I've won there on Vega Yellows, but I've been faster there on Burris 33s. So sounds to me like I got to take them both just in case. I think if it rains heavy, the Vegas have an equal opportunity to keep up with the Burris. But if the track does what the track does on a normal night, I think the 33 is going to be the tire to be on. What prep do you recommend for a beginner? Out of the track tack line, that's the prep I push. it's the prep I know. It's I would, even if you're going to go with somebody else, go simple, go basic. And out of the track tack line, I'm going to suggest orange. I happen to have one right here. This is track tack orange. It is a pre-race wipe. So this is not going to drop your durometer. It's not going to make the tire soft. It's going to add bite, and it's going to bring the tire into the track a lot quicker than it would without anything. It has DRT in it, which is dirt repelling technology. It keeps the dirt from sticking to the tire real bad. But this is out of the track tack line. This is probably my most recommended for anybody brand new. It's just wipe or two before you go out on the track. It just helps the tire come into the track. It's not, like I said, it's nothing crazy. It's not, there's tire gurus who are going to, oh, you need GoPro, you got to drop the durometer. You very well might. That may be down the road, but if you're brand new to it, don't. I know what it takes to be fast at some tracks. I think it's unnecessary for beginners to just delve so far head into the prep game and get frustrated right away. Start off, know full well, hey, you can go out without anything, see how it is. You put something like orange on and wipe it on a couple, like I said, a couple wipes of it on your tires and see if the cart gets better. if you want to go just a tick more aggressive, for just general purpose prep. AT2, if you've ever heard of Hot Lap 2, that's Track Tack's version of that. Very basic, nothing, no frills to it, nothing super crazy. Just an all around good prep. It's going to work on, it's going to work on wet tracks. It's going to work on dry tracks. It will soften the tire just a tick, but it's not overly aggressive. Also something like Ruby. I don't have Ruby. I got Ruby in the. Sorry, I was going to show it to you. It was up here for a long time, but I plan on using some of it this year. So it went into the trailer. I haven't used it a ton in the past, but I've been on, when I was on the open, I was on Vegas, and we're super aggressive with tires on the open on UAS ride, or at least I was on Vegas. And I think with the Burris, I have to lighten it up a little bit. So things like Ruby and AT2, like I just mentioned, Orange, those things are the more Burris I run around here, the lighter stuff. Even with Reaper, I don't think I'm going to need to be as aggressive. So I want to put that stuff in the trailer so it's there, so I have the option to go to it. Hey, bud, good to see you. Nice. Yeah, I appreciate you coming by. Yeah. If you ever see me in the wild at the track, which is, I'm kind of a homebody. I would love to travel some more. I would love to get out and about, but it just doesn't happen financially. It's just, I traveled a lot. The thing about it is I feel like I'm being a bit of a homebody nowadays. I used to travel everywhere. I used to, we'd go on a whim for UAS, so we'd drive down to Virginia. My buddies and I, we'd go down there for a race. Tons of PA races, Ohio. It just all over the place. I did a lot of traveling for a lot of years, and there's part of me that misses it. I love to go to new tracks and meet people and this and that. I think I absolutely love that part, but also I did it for so many years that being a bit of a homer it's not too shabby. It's not too bad. So places like AMS, that Weed Sport was a lot of fun. It's going to take a little more tire knowledge than I have. I don't say tire knowledge that I have. It's going to take more tires than I have currently in order to perform well there. But I get the gist, and I think I can make it work. I just need to acquire some somewhere sometime. Burris is definitely if you run Burris tires and it takes a certain style of running Burris, I guess I should really do a Burris video. I will get on that this hopefully soon. We'll see how soon, but I want to talk about that because there's an art to Burris. There's an art to what makes Burris fast at certain points of time. What you can, what you can't, what you should, what you shouldn't do to a Burris. All tires are finicky. No tire is perfect. Like I said, I've been on them all. I've raced them all the way down to Kings, Maurice Kings, Vega Blues, Vega Reds, Hoosiers. I've tried them all. I haven't tried AJC. Okay, I haven't tried them all. I've tried a lot of them, but there's an art to each and every different tire brand as far as not even from a prep perspective, but prep's always included in that of date codes, years, thicknesses, behaviors of tires. It's just there's so much to it. The only reason I don't do more videos on that is because I don't want to confuse people. There's a lot to stuff, like the whole process of a Maxxis. I mean, I understand, but I don't completely understand the process. I get the gist of it. I just don't have to do it, so I'm not like a pro at doing it. But Super Duper South there was talking about he went into his video and he was not racing, but he's wiping Maxxis like on days off. And I mean, I've done it. I just don't consistently do it. And I haven't had to consistently do that with things like Burris or Vega Yellows up here. So it's a different world. But the family will succeed. Is there a good place to find Kart and decent price without getting scammed? I currently race Sorry, limited modify. Want something to wheel when I can't run the big car. I I say I say this with a grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt. There are two places that I would look: Facebook Marketplace, and I know. I wouldn't maybe. All right, look, I'll take that back. Don't say Facebook Marketplace. What I would do is whatever segment of the country you're in, I'm sure there is a for sale page or a carts and parts page on Facebook. Probably start looking there. If not, forcycle.com. That's Bob's Forcycle. There's classifieds in there. You might be able to find something there. Other than that, I'm going to suggest just go whatever track you conceivably might go race at, go check it out. Somebody might have something for sale. Start a conversation. Go to watch the races. Wander around in the pits. Start up a conversation. But if you become friendly with somebody, mention it to them like, hey, I'm kind of looking for a cart. um, but it's with anything, with a vehicle of any sort. You don't know what you get until you get it. Unless you buy brand spanking new, you don't know what you're getting involved in. But I would start there. I would go to uh, if you're looking for something used, absolutely, just whatever on Facebook, look at, carts and parts, just type that into the search, and I'm sure something will pop up, northeast, southeast, wherever you happen to be. But yeah, local cart tracks, probably the best bet, just so you could get eyes on something, um, type of thing. If you're looking for brand new, Walker here is correct. JC Specialties is probably going to be my. They have lots of stuff in stock. They are huge. Uh, it's a big business, and they whatever you need for kart racing, JC Specialties has it. But yeah, starting out, if you want something reasonably priced, that's you can you can go into the Facebook Marketplace if you want to. But I've also seen people with like we'll say 2.5 tires on a clearly 1980s chassis with a new body on it, saying this thing rips, this thing does 80 miles an hour, and it doesn't have an engine on it. I More power to them. If you think that, cool. I don't know what engine package you have it on. I mean, my open will do 80. But if it has a clone or a flathead or something, a predator on it, uh, and it's date, I could just, because I've been around racing so long, I can see it's clearly dated chassis, and they don't know what they're selling. I wouldn't think they're, malicious. I came across one time, and I was just like, bro, and they wanted like, I don't know, $1,500 for it. I'm like, bro, that's a $300 chassis all day long. It is what it is. You can find some nice cards around the track. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, that's yeah, the track is probably, if you have a dirt track around you, if you're gonna go do that. Where's my watch bugging me? If you're going to go do that, the track's the way I would suggest. Probably go and watch and just get conversing with somebody. Hey, Bob's got a blah 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 for sale over here, race ready, blah, blah, and you can go look at it, see if it's a pile or not, or but I don't know what your budget might be. Maybe it's racing. Obviously, you're a racer, so racing can be as expensive as you want it to be. I've seen Predators with Predator carts from the 80s and 90s with lifting weights, like plates, bolted to them for ballast weight. Um, Knock yourself out, man. Old tires from the 80s that look like they're from the 80s. I mean, just dry rotted and everything, but they are having a blast. I don't, I'm never, a snobby type of racer. I don't ever want to ever come off like that. Uh, if you're having fun, if you're enjoying kart racing, knock yourself out. I love it. It's good stuff. Hello, what's going on, Mr. Larson? Uh, yeah. You'll see this Sunday if you guys watch the videos. You'll see this Sunday that the weed sport. So I put my brand new 2025s on for the feature. Just it's the best stuff I got, and it's too soft. It was too soft. I pulled off because I was going to get lapped. I knew that was a very possibility. As soon as we took off and I saw the corner speed that they had, you know, um, it was what I had, but in 15 laps, I started melting down melting down the edges on the brand new tires. So I was like, it takes something a little more seasoned. I probably should have stayed on my 19s. So I go into all this stuff. If you watch the video, if not, I'll just give you a preamble to it. I had one set of 2019s. I did have some spare left rears for, staggers, rear stagger, and I ran them at first. They were decent. I'd surfaced them, prepped them, blah blah blah, and they were decent. I went on qualifying. The track picked up a lot. I got tight off a three really bad, which cost me, qualifying time was not. It was better than what I ran in practice, but it wasn't up there with the leaders at all. And I knew exactly when it happened. I got tight, and I was like, "Oh no!" But I figured, hey, let's throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. And I went with the 2025s, and in 15 laps, I got the right rear and the right front pretty hot. Uh, it's been a long time since I've started to uh, do work to a tire like that. Well, on the open it happens, but I've never done it on the clone, and I did it on the clone. It's like Weedsport, New York is like my description was it's outdoor indoor racing. There's that many G's that corner, the way the track takes rubber, it's smooth, it's fast, it's really cool. It's just definitely takes setup. It takes tire knowledge, uh, aggressive prep. Don't let it don't let it get too far into the tire. You don't need it that soft. But yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. Anytime, I'm available. Kart63 at gmail.com. I'm on Messenger. Ben Taft is my name, if you didn't know. I'm on Facebook. It's not that hard to get a hold of me. If you ever need help whatsoever, shoot me an email, shoot me a message. I do my best to get people pointed in the right direction. Um, I don't I don't hold back secrets. Not that I would. I don't have all the answers, but I try and steer people in the right direction every chance I get. I want to see the sport thrive. I don't want people to get frustrated. It's racing. You're bound to get frustrated. I don't want people to lose interest. I want you to keep on going and enjoy the sport that I love. I've been doing it for over 20 years, and I want people to enjoy what I enjoy about it. That's everything can be a pain in the ass. Everything's got its quirks. Everything's got its downsides. It's looking to the positives that keeps you going. That the competition, the going fast, all the stuff. Um, it's just my point of view on things. Yeah, I got told this weekend at Weed Sport, a friend of mine, the accidents, that I'm a positive person, and it's not always. It's obviously everybody has their sides to them, and I can get down in the dumps like anybody else. It just usually doesn't last long with me. Um, griping, I gripe like anybody else, but it doesn't fix things. Uh, Working through stuff fixes it. You know, realizing that whatever it is, does it really make that big of a difference? Is it really hurting you that bad? And keep on going. Maybe it is something that's pretty bad, but I find that I try and be as positive as possible because I don't find joy in misery. Yes, I got my butt kicked, dude. I got fifth out of six, like this weekend, but there's positives. I went from a 12-1 to 11-8 to a 10-6 or something like that. Maybe I'm getting those numbers wrong. It's somewhere along the line. I made progression. That's positive. I got my butt kicked, but it's a positive. I moved forward, and it's even if it's a tenth, if it's a 2/10, if it's a way the cart behaves on the track at that moment in time. Hey, I made an adjustment. It got better. I'm pointed in the right direction. There you go. Uh, so anyway, I had to say that little thing. I appreciate Ben's the man. I'm not the man. I'm hoping that I haven't forgot how to drive an open. The last time I was on the open, it didn't go great. It was a rough track though, so I'm bag of excuses. I'm pulling that one out. That's rough track. I'm older. This sucks. That's Blairsville, Pennsylvania. Not a rough track. So the 17th, quarter point race for Unlimited All Stars, the Keystone Unlimited All Stars in Pennsylvania. I'll be hopefully attending that. I got to weld up a Nerf bar. I have to clean some stuff. I have to go through my clutch. Obviously, get engine mounted, seat remounted. I got everything torn apart. Get some new bearings for things. I have new bearings. I have new hub bearings put in. I think I have spindle bearings. Yeah, I'm just gonna rebuild her. There might be something. I won't give away anything because until things happen, I don't like to count on them. But there are things in the works, which is going to be, I think, really cool for the channel, really cool for me. But we'll see. You know, I talk to people, and things might be in the works for some really cool stuff in the near future. We'll see though. If and I am pushing center off, that's a that's a loaded question there. What would I do if I was pushing center off? Um, there, see, at the track this weekend, I heard somebody reference the right front, and if it's not biting, it's not turning. They're not wrong, but I assume that the right rear is biting too hard. So I would. It depends on what at what point of cross you are. Say if you're 65 and you're pushing, I would increase cross. If you're lower than 65, I might drop cross out of it. That being said, I like to play with rear stagger. I like to, if you can make it turn center, it really helps, especially off. Like if you can get it to turn center and you got so much stagger that it just inherently just zip, I don't think it really gets tight, at least for me. So I might increase my rear stagger 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, see where that goes. I found that years ago on the Recon run in the open, I found that it was sensitive to rear stagger. Beard Octane's going live right now. How dare you step on top of my live stream, Beard Octane? But yeah, I found the Recon really likes rear stagger, and I kind of got away from it for whatever reason, and I got tighter and tighter and tighter, and then it's just occurred to me when I started racing the clone again, I put a lot of rear stagger in it, and swoop, it goes in, and it goes around the turn and stops being tight, center, and off, and I'm like, huh. Why I got away from it, I have no idea. You just when you're running an open, especially, I think there's this. I should probably do a video on it. I was taught a long time ago, if you increase rear stagger, you're going to make yourself freer off the turn. I don't think that is always the case. I think that no matter what, we'll grab a tire here. I know that's dirty. It rolled out of the trailer. All right, this is the left rear. No matter if this is smaller or larger in diameter, this patch from here to here is always the same, give or take. So in my brain, that doesn't make sense to me that if this is a smaller circumference, that somehow the forward drive off of it is changed by your stagger. It's still drive. It's whatever you did to the tires, how much cross you have in the behavior of the chassis and applying pressure to this tire that causes it to bite or not bite off the turn. More stagger helps it turn. Now, there's a limit to things. If you run 2.5 inches of rear stagger, it's obviously not going to want to come off the turn. But yeah, I like rear stagger especially. Yeah, 17 Recon. It's just my opinion. Try more rear stagger. That is going to lower your cross though. Just to let you know, if anybody ever does that, like if the more you increase rear stagger, the less your cross is going to be. That is a thing with me. Like on my 17 Recon, is that people are like, oh, get that thing up, 65, 67 cross, and it's just like I can't. It's with the amount of rear stagger that I have in the thing, with the amount of left that I have in it because of me. It doesn't like to get above 63. I'm sure I could put a high cross spindle in it. They still make those. I'm assuming they still make those, which just drops the right front It moves the where the spindle comes off. It drops it down, so it actually increases cross. Yeah, yeah. I didn't think about that much, but treads. Yes, I would. I ran the Recon. I mean, I was on slicks. It's not. It's the same, only different. Last year, and I got it all the way down to like 57 cross. It didn't start to like it. It started to become lazy. It was fast, but it was lazy off the corner. As soon as I increased the cross back up over 60, I got 61, 63. The track the high bank track that I always, show the videos of and everything, it doesn't, especially on this chassis, it doesn't like high cross. It doesn't like super low cross, but I'd say 60 to 63 likes it a lot. But that's on the lower side. You could probably, with treads, dip down below that 60 threshold on cross and see how that behaves for you. I think it might like it. We always used to run super low cross with treads way back when on my open. Down to attack of it. It opens up the option if I can come into some of the cheddar. The only thing that really holds me back for it would be tires, and that's not a big deal. I mean, I got some old tires here, um, but I would buy freshies. I'd have to have at least 2 sets. I would assume, and I'd have to get is dog leg or 2 dog leg sets for it. So real reasonable price on those. I have some left fronts. I'll run a Reaper left front because you have to run a Reaper left front, but I would run an older Reaper left front because unnecessary to have. Yeah, they just don't do as much work as they used to on current chassis. But yeah, I had contemplated coming down to this one. It wasn't going to work out. I just didn't have the funding to do it right at the moment with the race that I raced last week and things I had to buy. Matter of fact, I got to buy some stuff for the Open. So hopefully, hopefully I'm a better place like that, and Mama doesn't schedule anything over top of it. But yeah, might as well. I could be talking to you guys and working, couldn't I? Being way more efficient. Oh, I got to get the micron off this thing. Yeah, I was gonna say that I got to order. Text Cliff last night to ask him. I got to get a new EGT for the Open. On the Open I run water temp and EGT, and the water temps for just make sure it has water in it. Basically, it never ever seems the Bama never ever seems to get hot as far as water temp goes, but I tune with the exhaust temp, and having a broken one it got pinched or something. I took it to my old Kart owners, and somehow in transportation, not blaming him, it just crap happens, man. And the wire got pinched, and I thought it was okay. Like I was holding the actual temp sensor in my hand, and it went up, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But then when I was racing it last time, I was running it pretty fat, and I knew I was running it pretty fat, but it was registering like nowhere near where it should have, and I'm like, I think my EGT sensor is poop, and which is that's 50, 60 bucks right there. Just nickel and diamond me to death, man. It's very unpleasant, but yeah, here's a Micron Tutti. I got 2 of those. I gotta charge that battery. Just breaking down the scythe. I gotta get it cleaned up here. And get to work on stuff. I could, I could do that. Why don't you guys help me? We're gonna take the Nerf bar off. 7/16. You got 7/16. Where'd I put my impact? Do you know how many times a day I lose tools at work? It's crazy. It's like I spent, I'll say 5 minutes. It wasn't 5 minutes, but I lost my I need 7/16. It's pins. I sat down my diagonal cutting pliers, aka dikes, somewhere, and I just had them in my hand. And I'm walking all over. I was working on a car, and I'm wandering all over. I went to my little roll around toolbox. Oh, not there. And went over to the bench where I was working. Oh, not there. And I just confused look on the car. That was like I was working on an old Cruise, and I was putting an intercooler in it, and I I couldn't for the life of it. And happened to open up one of the drawers that they don't go in, and there it is. Why I put it in there, nobody knows. Um, okay, there's that. Yeah, think a Nerf bar is supposed to look like that? Probably not, huh? Yeah, I got so much stuff. That track was a lot of fun. The heck was that called? Blanket Hill. It's Blanket Hill. I'm pretty sure it's Blanket Hill in Pennsylvania. It's a car track now. It used to be asphalt, and then they went to dirt, and they used to race karts on it a long time ago. And the originator of the UAS used to race there a lot back in the day. Mark. Um, so we went for the Northeast Divisional there last year, but it was fall, so it took on a whole bunch of water, and it's red clay, so it got real mushy, and it got so rough. I was, you get out there. I was excited to be back in the open. It's super fast, and I was just zinging it into the turn. It was a riot. But when we went out for the feature, um, boy, it just got to me. I don't do well on super rough tracks anymore. It's I don't know if it's got to be an age thing. That it's just, yeah, I'm not willing to deal with it. It's just I can gripe about it all I want, but I don't like it. It hurts, and when things hurt me, I tend to stop doing them. Oh yeah, I did. I'm not going to flip off the camera, but this side of that finger right there, stuck a razor blade through it. I was cutting some bubble wrap. And, oof. Oh, okay, you guys still aren't. I'm just gonna keep on yammering. As long as you're not talking, I'm just gonna keep on yapping. I have a welder right here, an Eastwood. I don't have any gas for it, so take it down to the shop where I work and use the MIG on it. I've spent years trying to convince my boss to buy a TIG, and he says, "You don't know how to run a TIG." I said, "I didn't know how to run a MIG either until I taught myself how to weld, and I'm pretty sure that I can teach myself how to TIG." There's an art form to welding, but I have a lot more patience than I used to, and I'm sure I would YouTube the crap out of it and learn. Okay, this much temperature does this, that. This is what you're looking for. That's how we all learn things. And now, especially when you're not in school anymore and you don't have it as that's it's part of my trade, but we don't do training in my trade. So I would just teach myself. And his rebuttal to everything is he doesn't want to buy a TIG because he knows that you're just going to make cart parts. He's not lying, but as long as I was paying for giving him some money for the gas and the welding rod and stuff. I mean, it's what's the big deal? So I'd be welding tanks and brackets and this and that out of aluminum. I think it'd be awesome. Yep. Effect weight shift to the right side because of higher. I would think so. There comes a point of ride height that, for instance, when I was at the AMS, it was just not their fault. There's a whole bunch of rain, and it got super duper wet and super soft, and it was rolling over, and it was a bad time for me. But what I did was I dropped my left front spindle, which took a crap ton of cross out of it. I had basically my both front spindles all the way down just to raise the nose up so it would stop hitting, and it affects if you do that, if you play with your ride height, it will mess with the balance of the cart. It may not be a bad thing though. If you do things in equal increments, it should be better. But like I did, I mean, I think I changed, like, it must have been 5 washes across, in the left front just to drop it down to get more clearance, to get the nose off the ground. It definitely messed with the cross, which inherently messed with the balance of the cart. But yes, it the more pressure you're causing there, the quicker the transfer is. So the more you're like, even if you're playing with your camber, so your tire's normally like this. If you tip it down, it's going to speed up transfer. That the more you pick it up, it takes more for the cart to lean over on it. There's a tuning thing. Mounting weight properly is the most. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, I don't know if you know this or not. Some people are new. Don't put weight on your chassis. Put it on your seat. It's designed that way. Now they used to do that a lot, and I think they were changing the flex of the bars, and they figured that out by adding all these little tabs and excessive wear on the tubing and stuff. So now we just all kind of put the weight on our seats or on the nose in order to get it. Just don't. You try not to bind the chassis at all. Allow the chassis to do what it does, because we don't have springs like a car does. The chassis is the spring, and if you do anything with weights, on the actual tubing, you are now affecting the way that transfers weight. Whether it be right side weight, left side weight, wherever, when you go into the corner, it loads the front. That dynamic always will change with weight on the cart. So, uh, well, I appreciate that you're back. You don't have to say sorry for me. It's just me. This mug is still the same every week. Conversation's different, but the mug is still the same. Um, I gotta get after this. It's funny when I look at this. I've done this before, but look at this. I was all excited about growing a beard for the first 3-4 years, whatever. And look at that thing. Look at that freaking thing. Oh, good Lord. It's just, at the time, it's like, hey, man, how long can I grow this thing? How big can my beard get? And then after a while, I like the beard look. I like the bearded look. My wife likes the bearded look. She doesn't ever want me to shave again, which is perfectly fine by me. I do shave right here, but yeah, I was. She always thought, she was like, "You should grow your beard back," and I was like, "Mountain man, ugh." It's a lot more work to keep that mane uh, under wraps. Is my steering wheel straight? Oof, did I bend something? Yeah, that's pretty straight. Sorry, I just happened to notice something. My right front looks like it's spindle looks like it's a tick off. Looks like it's. I'm gonna move that back though. That in speed that increases weight transfer as well. Did I bend that? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Oof, that's loose. I shook so much stuff loose the last race. Did you use LS4 at the port? Did you use ruin a nice set of 33s? That's the one thing I hate about racing there. I didn't use LS4 because I only use TrackTac products. I used it was cooler, so I ran SAA grape, which is a aggressive, non-oily prep. It didn't. It wasn't aggressive enough. I had somebody that ran some Topaz, which I intended on using, but when by the time I put my brand new tires on, I didn't want to be overly aggressive with them because I knew they were already they already felt a tick on the soft side, like they're new, fresh off the presses, and I didn't want to kill them. And even with, I only did a wipe or two of SQS, so just to fire them off. That's all I had on them, and I started to melt down the edges in 15 laps. is when I pulled off. I was getting lapped. But yeah, everybody there had their own stuff. I could smell goat in the air. And LS4, I saw that. But yeah, I'm a track tack only kind of guy. They sponsor the channel. It's all I've used for years. They have a plethora of stuff. I should have gone to Topaz. All in hindsight, I know you're not supposed to rerun tires, but the 19s were old enough. I think I could have gotten away with it. I think that I was fine for practice, obviously. Would have been actually better if I'd ran the 25s in practice in hindsight, and then went to the 19s that I had, but been overly aggressive with them on prep and really hit them with Topaz. Or if I don't even think I have goat anymore. I mean, if I'm going to use goat at all, I mix it with butter and goat pea because it kind of offsets the bad part of goat. It doesn't, that drying effect that eventually a set of goat tires will have. The BTGP will keep oils in the tire, but yeah. I get that. I had a few sets last year. We prepped with S4, and those tires still smell so heavy in prep. So you should have make the trip. I have been to Ransomville one time. It's been a minute. This is how long it's been since I've been to Ransoport. The NYDKS was still a thing because I have an NYDKS trophy in the house. That those pink things Jeffrey Machine made with the CNC machine. That the pink trophy with the cutout. Yeah, I have one of those because I won on my open UAS race at Ransomville. It's the only time I've been there and I won. There's a couple tracks there like that. Selins Grove is another one. I've only been to Selins Grove one time and I won that race. So it kind of keeps. Do I want to go back? It's just like I really like both tracks. I think the Ransomville was not the track for an open back then, but not saying anything against. I see it as being a much more clone friendly type of track. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, there was prep in the air, boys. And you know what was funny was when I went out to. I'm gonna make these. Maybe I'll make these comments. I have to do the video for Weed Sport is almost done. I'm gonna do the intro like I standard do because I got to I got to get the channel sponsors and everything in there, and then but I think I'm gonna do a post race analysis about things that I observed, and one of the things was I had been told be careful in the barn. Okay, so those of you who don't know, you can only prep there. There's a big building that you go into, and you go in, you go right, and that's a staging area for going out. Well, there's signs that no prepping beyond this point is outside of the building. Well, everybody just and dumps prep on their tires last minute so it doesn't penetrate too far into the tire, but it's still there. So go LS4. There's a lot of super aggressive chemicals there, and then they dump it, heavy rollers, everything else, and drip prep all the way in there. And I get it. It doesn't make much sense. Because hey, there's already prep in here, but it calms down the amount of prep that's actually in the building. But then what blew my mind was when I was pushing my cart out to go out to the track. It's asphalt paved to go out to the track, and I was slipping. Like I was just like, there's so much prep being rolled out onto that surface. As I was pushing my cart out, and I'm like, whoa, this is. I'd been warned about it, but I kind of figured it was going to be in the building because it's all smooth concrete in there. I wasn't thinking about the asphalt and then the prep that was all over the asphalt, and I was like, holy crap, it's slippery out here too. But once you got on the track, I mean, that is the last bit of the slipping there is. The track got black, it got fast, it was crazy. Yeah, a lot of fun. Just not exactly my wheelhouse. I've never been great indoor racing, and that's kind of the Weed Sport again. It reminds me of outdoor indoor racing. Like it bites up so hard that you need a cart to just cut hard. It needs to not only behave through the corner, but it needs to be able to just go. And I think that it was like a sea of elevates there. The Slack elevate, there was a sea of them, and each one of those carts that I noticed when I was watching them on track, every elevate cut really, really well. Like it's designed to do just that. Now it makes me wonder, if that chassis behaves on a smoother track, not a smoother track, a smoother transition of a track, if it's too aggressive or not. But I can imagine that elevate being really good indoors. Just my opinion on that though. Or just randomly stumbled upon. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you swinging by. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate all the subs. It got crazy with that viral video. That I still still people comment, and people from other countries, just buy new tires. It's just like, well, yeah. I mean, if you've never seen people grind cart tires before, I suppose it would be quite surprising to somebody. You're like, why? Why would you do it? First off, where's the tread on the tire? Some people just don't understand that we run slicks on dirt. Um, but then to see somebody like this guy and take an angle grinder, and go, yeah, it's just gotta absolutely blow a portion of the uh, of people's minds. They don't know about it. Why would they? If it pays zero. We were balling when we elevator ran so on. Nice, very cool. Yeah, I saw when I don't know if it was a V3. It might have been a V2 that was at JC Specialties. Really nice design chassis though. I can see that Hermie did. They did a lot of work on it. Very, very purposely built. I would say innovative, but unfortunately, next to the Premier was sitting the Ultramax. Ultramax innovative. I think that there's a purpose to they're very purposely built. The Premier, the Phantom, the Charger, and the Demon that were all there. Very not crazy. There's nothing crazy going on. Purpose. The bars are right here. We put these here for a purpose. Whereas if you look at the Ultramax, it was just like it's not willy nilly or anything, but it's just like, hey, we see what these guys did, and we changed this, this, and this. Now check that out. And I'm like, hey, it's you can't deny. I mean, some of them are obviously I haven't see high performance in the open side of things. Ultramax is fantastic. And I see it was a Caudle. He's a the North or Midwest. He seems to be fast, and I keep on hearing about real. There's some serious speed in that new Ultra. I think all of them are great choices, and Premier. When Hermie came out and was doing the bonuses, the random draw bonuses, I think that there'll be more of those to come for sure. What a way to give back to your customers, people that believe in you and ride your stuff. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, them shorts on clean the tires. It still says I can't catch lightning in a bottle twice though. I have numerous. And that's the thing about that one. It's 14. I checked it last night because I was at band practice. Doug, if you're watching band practice, it's more of me sitting around listening to my guitarist and bassist play tunes and talk about stuff. But I think I checked it. It was like 14.3 million views that thing has. In freaking sane. I don't know what causes it to get into the algorithm or got into the algorithm to begin with and then hit it again. It just all of a sudden spurred right up. Um, yeah, absolutely. That's I love them all. I was talking with somebody and even smaller manufacturers. What is the oh shoot the Inception? Way cool. There are some smaller builders that are doing some really cool things that they're not on display like a Phantom, like a Premier, like a Charger. They're not out there. But I think that the quality and the thought process is going into these chassis, even smaller builders, and I wish them all luck. It's as much as, like, how many chassis do we need? I mean, how many car manufacturers do we need? How many versions of cars do we have that, everybody has a different taste. Everybody has a different this. I'm rooting for them all, from your small builder up to your big builders, like I said, your Phantoms, Chargers, and Premiers, Slack. I'm rooting for them all. The better those companies do, the better the racers do, the more satisfying it is. The more carts that are out there, you know, the secondary market helps people get into racing. It's all good. So I mean, I wish I wish I could say what I wish I could say what might be coming down the pike, but I don't want to jinx it for myself. I'm not a real I don't that whole $50 bill at the racetrack thing, the green on your cart. I'm not a superstitious person. I don't really believe in that, but I don't want to put things out into the world that might happen, that are probably going to happen, but might not happen, because I jinx myself, because bad stuff sometimes happens to me and I go, oh, well, that's a bummer. So, but I think there's a cool thing going to happen in the near future. You'll find out as soon as I'm allowed to tell you, type of thing. But yeah, um, you perhaps know Jim Rogers. I don't want to offend Jim. I may have met somebody by that name. I don't recall. I know a lot of people by face, and then I like to engage in conversation, and then somebody happens to say, "Hey, Jim," and I go, "Oh, Jim," and I feel bad because I'm terrible with names, absolutely terrible with names. I may have met him. I I, I apologize if I should know. Jim gets on here, dude. You know me, and I go, "Oh, man, I'm sorry." I've met a lot of people over 20 whatever years. My daughter's going to be 23. That's how I know how long I've been racing. I started racing the year that my daughter was born, which was in August. So 23 years. I may have tested a cart the fall. I think tested the fall. So 24 years. I've technically been on a cart. It was the fall before, and I thought that thing's awesome. I started racing that spring of 2002. Um, it's tough. There's a lot of people that've been racing for, since they're kids, and they have a lifetime of racing to fall back on. I mean, obviously 23 years is no chump change for the amount of time I've been on a cart. It's like I'm a whole new world though when I'm delving into this clone thing. It's a whole new world of learning, and I only ran flathead for like half a year or something when I started, and then got right into KT 100s, and then from KT 100s got into opens, and did opens for 15, 17 years or something silly. um, I did opens for a very, very long time, and now just getting back into the stock version of stuff and learning what it takes to be fast there. It's the tough thing when you come into work on Monday. Hey, did you win this weekend? It's just like I would love to, but my skill set is in the open stuff and relearning what it takes to make something, no offense, but simpler, go faster, is difficult. Um, takes a lot. It takes a lot of it takes a setup. It takes a bank of tire knowledge, and where driving, where to enter a corner. I mean, you don't have the loud pedal to get you out of trouble. It's just, you hate to use that as an excuse being an open guy, but when you got 70, 80 horsepower, whatever it is that some of these engines have, if you happen to miss a corner, you can make it up in a hurry, and just get get the next corner right, and you can improve it. Uh, I have nice. I feel bad when I forget names, or if somebody's name doesn't stick in my brain. I do. I truly feel bad, because it's not my intent. It's not just like, oh, I don't care about that guy. It's that I forget where I put the mayonnaise in the fridge sometimes. Like, my wife's, where's the mayonnaise? And my wife's like, it's in there. You put it in there, stupid. I'm like, what? It's This is the truth. But I just happened to look up at the time. I appreciate you guys coming by. Sometimes I want to say that sometimes I'm surprised how fast an hour goes by, and I could be on here longer. But I did want to pop over to Beard Octane. They're one of the sponsors of the channel. Um, they're doing I think the owner's father went over to Italy or something like that, and he's coming back telling stories about that. They're doing giveaways, product giveaways, this and that. And I kind of want to come over and say hi to them guys. So I do have to close out with you guys. But yeah, so Sunday will be my experience at Weedsport. Probably shoot that pre and post video here tonight to get that done. And yeah, yeah, that we'll see if I race Saturday night. It's supposed to be a points night. Their first points night at AMS. Looks like rain's in the forecast. I don't know if I want to go stand in the rain and wait for the track to be running, but we'll see. I still have the itch to race. I mean, I've been out twice already, but I think a third time we'll probably get it right. But I appreciate you guys coming by. Thank you very much for coming by every Thursday. The repeat people, anybody that was new here, thank you very much for coming by. Bring your questions. I will continue to talk. I will continue to work on stuff and talk. Just run at the mouth. But if you have questions, if you have anything that you want to enter in the chat, please do. I love interacting with you guys. So I'll see you next Thursday, and I hope you enjoy the video someday. So it was a lot of fun for me, especially playing with an Insta 360. I'll get that even better down the line too. But all right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.